Tag team back again. This is RSPN, the party on Butterman. Guys, KYGY2K is back. I am Jesse Dram. This is my co-host Joe Garifo.
Yes.
It's been a while, buddy.
It's been like a year.
It has been.
We have recorded things since,
yes,
but they've never come out.
It's okay.
It's alright.
It'll get done.
Well, yeah, it'll eventually.
But
they'll be the lost episodes.
The lost episodes. We're here to discuss one of the biggest franchises of the 1980s. I'm, of course, talking about 1995's Angus.
No. Do that again.
We're here to discuss one of the most influential comedies of all time.
You guessed it!
You guessed it.
Angus!
1995, starring, weirdly enough for a 90s kids movie, George C. Scott, a.k.a. General Patton, Kathy Bates in one of her first roles after Misery, James Van Der Beek, who you may know as James Van Der Beek and Dawson's Creek, Ariana Richards, the girl from Jurassic Park, and Chris Owen, the Sherminator. Rounding out the cast is Charlie Talbert, who is so under the radar, he does not have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, did he do anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he had, like, a bit part in something.
He was great in this.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, yeah, this is, like, not even, like, okay for a kid's movie acting. This is good acting.
I genuinely think this movie is a masterpiece. I love this movie.
It is. I will, actually, we're going to take a second. This is what editing is for, but I do want to see if he was anything else.
Let's get it started then, shall we? Oh. Quick finish.
Medic?
So, I don't know about you, but I've always considered this, like, the Gen X grunge kids movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean,
the soundtrack, it's weird because a lot of the soundtrack to me was like alternative rock or early punk.
Right, but
punk.
for something that was essentially a kids movie in the 90s, it's pretty weird to have a kids movie like Weezer and Goo Goo Dolls, back before Goo Goo Dolls were just like the, you know, and I'll never tell them your name. They used to have rock songs before Johnny Resnick got glued to an acoustic. And Green Day's on it too. Like, if I think of other movies at this time that have Weezer on the soundtrack, I immediately think of, like, Mallrats.
Yeah.
And this is a very different target demo than Mallrats.
Yeah, this is a kid family movie, but I still, like, it's great. It's a great movie. Yeah.
Very dramatic for a kid's movie. Now, I'm using kids movie interchangeably because it is like a teen coming-of-age movie. I first saw this as like a 9-year-old, which, you know, you can understand at that age, like, you know, the big kid wants to get the girl. One thing I would say that's really unique about this movie as opposed to other kids' movies is it's the only one where it is constantly acknowledged that the kid being bullied could beat the shit out of the bully at any time.
Yeah, and he's good at football.
A fat kid who's good at science and fair at football.
He's good at science, but like it doesn't matter because of how he looks. You know, to the bullies, it doesn't matter.
He's a fat kid with low self-esteem. The other thing is, it doesn't seem like he has...
He broke his nose, Angus.
Yeah, he breaks his nose 3 times.
Yeah.
Hey Angus, want to play pintail on donkey? You could be a donkey. Whoa! Whoa! You broke his nose, Angus!
Funny. Especially at the end, where you're like, oh, you broke Angus's nose! But it's funny that, like, he doesn't have a ton of bullies. He just has James Van Der Beek. James Van Der Beek has his 2 lackeys.
Yeah, who one is E from Entourage.
E, who makes the same fucking face in every scene. He'll just say something snarky like, drop something, fatso. Truly one of, like, the worst child actors of a generation. And then he grew up to become a horrible director. Have you ever seen Gotti?
He directed that?
He directed Gotti,
No,
and they tried to make Gotti an underdog.
Really?
It's so bad.
New York is the greatest fucking city in the world.
my city.
So weirdly with this, I know you're interested in like release histories. This didn't have a DVD release until 2009.
Yeah, it was a while. It was one of those you can only get it on VHS movies.
It had a weird there's like a television cut that has like 20 extra minutes that apparently make it like a much better movie. Not that it's a bad movie, but there's like 20 minutes in the TV cut that like really flesh out the backstory. They don't get to... One of the things that got cut out in focus tests is that Angus's father is gay, and that's why he left. And it's also alluded that they mentioned Kathy Bates as a truck driver, which is a pretty stereotypical lesbian job, specifically at the time. But yeah, originally, both of his parents are gay, and focus groups in 1995 just couldn't fucking take that.
Yeah, that would have made it more... I mean, it definitely would have added more to the backstory. I always wondered what happened to his dad.
Yeah.
Because I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah, like I said, did not get a DVD release until 2009. So crazy. And that DVD doesn't have any of the deleted scenes either.
Yeah.
It's only in the TV cut.
I gotta find that now.
Angus was named after his gay dad, even though he does make the mention that as a fat kid it is pretty cruel to name a kid after a cow.
Yeah.
We see from a very young age that Angus falls for the female lead, Melissa, who seems to have always been Rick's girlfriend. Rick being
James Van Der Beek.
Dawson, that's right. I'm going to be using actor and character and other famous character names pretty free-flowingly in this. But yeah, he's been in love with her the whole time. Did you have any, like, really... I was, like, a young kid that was, like, crazy about girls at a young age. I remember being in first grade, and I had the bright idea of singing the Aerosmith song Angel to a girl that I liked. Didn't work out.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, I was a very hopeless romantic type
Yeah.
as a child, which is bizarre when you think about it. All these things that you think are cute are really not cute. Like
No.
if you're holding a boombox outside of somebody's house, you better really hope they like you.
I do feel like you and I have both been... I think your fascination has hung on a bit longer, but you and I have both been very influenced by movies our entire life. Because, little kid shit like that, like, hold up the boombox. Me and my wife watched Dirty Dancing last night. I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't see that as a little kid, because I'd be a little fat boy trying to, like, merengue my way into...
Hey, you don't know. Maybe you could do it.
Maybe I could. I don't know. But yeah, I was very influenced by movies. Like, you gotta sing a song to her.
Yeah.
She'll love that. And these poor girls, like, are not even interested in boys yet. And, you know, it's funny. That's why I said that I had very low self-esteem as a teenager and beyond. Even though I wasn't that fat overall, but I do think part of it is just from such a young age, I had, like, telling a girl I liked her was like, it was almost like as an adult telling somebody, like, your deep, dark fetish. Only for me, it's like, hey, listen, I know this is kind of weird and kind of gross, but I'm attracted to you. I get it. It's not for everyone. Like, that's my deep, dark, filthy thing, is that I have a basic human attraction to you. I understand it's gross, but if you're a fucking weirdo, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I was always oblivious to when people liked me. It was like what George Costanza would say.
When I like them, they don't like me. When they like me, I don't like them.
I tended to be less attracted to the girls who were openly into me, and I don't know if it's a Groucho Marx, like, you know, I wouldn't want to join any club that would have me as a member.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So this one does lean into the very classic kids movie thing of, like, the fat outcast kid loves the cheerleaders. Were you ever... cheerleaders never did anything for me.
In high school, there was one cheerleader I had a crush on.
Ooh.
Yes.
What was...
once again, I don't want to say, because these people are still friends, like, with my sister.
Oh.
I can't, it's like,
fucking sisters, man. Fucking sisters. You're supposed to... She should have, in solidarity, stopped talking to this cheerleader when she wouldn't date
she
you.
married one of my sister's
20 years
friends.
Ago. Oh. Still carrying a torch?
No. So you just asked me, did I ever have a crush on a cheerleader? Yes, one. But it just so happens that she's I will see her maybe at like family events every once in a while, which is kind of strange.
Oh, she was a cousin?
No, she's just my sister's friend.
I think a better question then is, did you ever have like a real crush somebody outside of your social group? Because that's what strikes me here is like, I get like the big guy, but like, you know, there's big girls, there's geeky girls you can be into. It's a little weird to me that that's such the trope.
I just always thought everyone was outside of my social group because I never thought I belonged to
You were
one.
above your rebel daddy.
No, it's just like when like especially in high school, like I was like my group of friends were like the weirdos. Like you know what I mean? But
Right.
like I but like I didn't get bullied or anything, and I wasn't like.
See that is one thing I identify with this is that I was kind of like too big to bully, because I was like a weirdo, but I was always like top height. You know, I was fat, but I was also like kind of thick. Like you could see, I was actually looking at myself in this shirt. Like I haven't worked out in a while, but like I don't look terrible. And then you see this, and that kind of ruins all this. You're looking so thin these days. It fucking infuriates me. He and I used to both be the chubby dudes, and he abandoned me.
He wanted to start a band called the Doughboys.
That's right.
Where we had
We
shirts off and just played. There's probably a band that does that by now.
We could still be the Doughboys one day if we wanted to. Yeah, never was into the cheerleaders. I know the current meme right now is like, you know, big titty goth girlfriend. I was ruining my life for goth girls before it was cool.
I was also like attracted to like not one specific type of like one cheerleader. Like I just liked girls in general.
True.
It was like,
I like girls in general, but I would never have pursued a
there were
cheerleader.
certain ones like I'm definitely outside of my what the league, out of my league.
Yes. I always punched above my weight.
I would imagine. But I thought everyone's out of my league, so I never could. I have a very low self-worth about
And it's
myself,
funny because I've seen teenage Joey pictures. You were a handsome boy.
which is
You're-
I'm told this, but like I never,
Right. You don't realize at the time.
like, I wasn't. No, at least not that to my recollection.
Angus plays football along with Rick. Rick is the quarterback. Angus is one of the offensive linemen. And again, this is just one of the things that does not really make sense of like, what the fuck is Rick's problem with Angus? Number one, just overall. And number two, not really a great effective leadership football strategy to have the guy who's supposed to be defending you all the time, and you're just a dickhead too.
Yeah, I don't get what his. I guess he just thought because he was a fat kid, he could make fun of.
Yeah,
him.
he says you're different. But still, just like imagine that in any other sports movie, like some fucking inspiring speech, like we're down, but we gotta get out there and we gotta kick ass. Bethune, you're a fat piece of shit, but we're gonna pull it together. Then we're gonna have a big party afterwards, and Bethune's not invited, but also protect me out there.
Also, like, why do people like him? Like, that's the other thing. Like,
Oh yeah, he's a dickhead.
It wasn't like. Although I guess there were people like that, but that was like to a cartoonish level, I think. But it was still. But then again, every movie back then had bullies that were homicidal, like maniacs.
No Stephen King plot works without like a roving gang of psychopaths with no impulse control and a cruel streak.
Oh man.
Like, yeah, you see that in It.
Plus, he could, like,
you see that in It when they go after the fat kid, where it's not like, hey, let's give him a wedgie. Like, I'm gonna carve out his fucking liver.
Yeah, they stab him, Biff, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Insane. I'm gonna run this guy over with my car. Like,
Yeah.
like with the, yeah, they were all unhinged, I guess.
Yeah.
But I didn't really. I guess I witnessed some things, but not like I saw like a kid push a teacher, like a student push a teacher once, and that was that happened. I didn't know the person.
It's always crazy when you see a kid wig out against a teacher.
It was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then we never saw that kid again.
Nope,
So,
he's gone. Well, speaking of never seeing that kid again, Angus is so fed up with this that he decides he's going to apply to a magnet school because he has good grades. He has a science project he's working on throughout the movie that doesn't really make sense. He's like vaguely like, you know, weirdness is okay, the science experiment.
The Bethune theory.
The Bethune theory.
Is this a joke?
Mr. Bethune?
No. I'm hoping to prove that within every normal system, there exists an aberration. Something different.
The chaos theory.
The Bethune theory.
Your hypothesis?
When a small abnormal element is forced into a larger normal system, the element will either be rejected or destroyed.
Obviously.
But it doesn't have to be that way. If the element is brave.
In a plotline, speaking of Stephen King, in a plotline very similar to Carrie, Rick Riggs, what is like the Winter Ball?
Yeah,
something?
it's like I just said the prom.
Yeah, let's just say the prom. It's the prom. Rick
It's
rigs
the
the
enchantment
prom.
under the sea dance.
Yes, Rick rigs it's the enchantment under the sea dance, so that the winner is, again, the nonsensicalness. I know what's really gonna chafe this guy's hide. I'm gonna make my girlfriend dance with him. She's gonna love that. So they rig the election so he wins, and, you know, yeah.
So Angus wins.
So Angus wins. Like, yeah, now you're gonna have to put your hands on my girlfriend's supple waist. That'll show you.
Angus Bethune?
All right!
Holy shit!
James Van Beek is a menace to
That
society.
leads to my absolute favorite part of the movie, and one of my favorite speeches in any film ever.
Oof.
I love it. I love it so much.
Can we pull up an excerpt? I would love to, because you can really act. So I'd like to.
Pull
You know
it
what?
up on your computer.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I
You have a vague idea how it goes. You want to try to wing it?
okay, it's like
I have just pushed you down, and I'm talking with Jurassic Park. Why are you dancing with that fatty?
I could beat you up. Wait, I can't. You gotta pull it up. I gotta watch it at least.
I know.
once.
You know how it starts? It's like, I'm still here, Rick.
I'm still here, asshole. I could beat you again and again and again and again and again, and I'll still be here.
You push me down and I'll get right back up again! Again! And again! And again! And again!
It's not normal. And what is, Rick? You? You bet your ass. There's 400 people in this room right now, Rick, that are nothing like you. Some of them are short, some of them are tall, some of them are fat, some of them are skinny, some of them have braces, some of them have a frizzy hair, some of them have ears that stick out.
Or frizzy hair, or ears that stick out.
But they go on everything. I fucking love that.
Dude,
I love
you had
it.
such a good run.
I
Guys,
couldn't remember
oh my
the rest
God.
of it. Something like that.
Joe Griffo, cast him in your
It's
movies.
something
He's great.
like that.
So
Something
yeah,
like
no,
that.
great teen
I love it.
teen movie speech. I know there's the meme
So,
now of
so
like, and then
what are
everyone
you, Rick?
clapped.
What are you, Rick? Are you normal? Or are you just one of us? Whatever it is, something you're never gonna be.
Damn.
Thank God.
So which is it, Rick? Are you normal? Or are you just one of us?
Whatever I am, something you're never gonna be.
Thank God.
And everybody fucking claps. Yeah!
Everybody clapped. That was great. Hey, if I saw something like that in real life,
He's like, that's what he says. I'm a
But then
fat
again-
kid that's good at science and fair at football.
Fair at football.
That's who I am. I can live with it. Why can't you? Because it's not normal. And what is? What is normal, Rick? You? Yeah. Okay.
thank God.
I love it. That's one of my favorite speeches.
It's
in
but
all
the only
of
thing is,
film history.
in real life, he gets 2 sentences into that, and someone in the back like, "Grr."
Yeah, no. Depends. It depends on, like, if everybody...
It does depend on the school, because like I said, it seems like James Van Beek is the only person that has a problem with this kid.
Yeah.
And everyone else
That's
is just
what I mean.
like,
And if everybody else just
okay.
kind of tolerates Rick
Yeah.
to make him think because he's a good quarterback or whatever. I don't know. But
They run outside, and Melissa, who just seems like so embarrassed, and I love, this is a very unique thing. Sometimes the girl will be sympathetic in a way, but we see that she is more than just the two-dimensional person she's been portrayed as, because immediately, like, he's like, oh, well, the problem is they play it in the montage. They're getting ready for the prom montage. We see Angus dancing with, is it a blow-up doll or a mannequin?
yeah, it's like a blow-up doll with clothes on.
Right. And James Vanderbeek and his cronies will later get a hold of this video and play it during the prom. Not quite pig's blood, but still very carious. Public humiliation. And that's when the showdown happens. And then Melissa runs away, and Angus goes after her, and he's, like, apologizing. And she's like, why are you apologizing to me?
It's not you, him.
Yeah.
He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He keeps doing this shit. And she mentions that she's bulimic.
Do you want to know something about me?
I'd like to know anything about you.
I'm bulimic.
Which, I don't know if you picked up on this, but foreshadowing, right after they're elected king and queen earlier in the movie, he says to Sherminator, like, oh man, she's probably throwing up in disgust right now.
Oh, we've totally forgot to mention that Rick breaks Troy's arm, the Sherminator's arm.
Come on, man, let's go.
Yes, in trying to get the tape.
And he's like, why? And then he blames him, like, why couldn't you just help us, man?
Tough guy. Now, what the hell is your problem? Look, help us out with this.
I don't have anything.
Then get something, all right? This is important. You understand?
Yeah.
It's your fault, man.
It's always the sociopath. It's like, why did you make me break your arm?
It's your fault, man. You did it. Like an asshole. And then, it's your fault, man.
Mm-hmm. But
so then they make him give. They don't know about the tape, which I still don't understand why.
Oh yeah, like the damage is already done at that point. Where he's like, hey, you know how you broke my arm and are probably gonna stay away from me now? Here's that thing you asked me for.
Yeah.
All right, here's that thing.
Yeah,
you asked me for.
why did he give him the tape in general at that point? Because he could have just said, like, literally, Rick broke my arm.
Yeah.
And now they're threatening me. I guess it was the 90s.
Yeah, they show a little bit with the principal being like, now you boys don't, but he doesn't seem like he's full like, well, that's the quarterback. I'm not going to punish him.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's why it's obvious Rick's starting shit, and they're yelling at Angus.
Exactly.
But then at the end of the movie, they're like, he's like, that's the king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making an exception for them.
They can go back in. You can't. You go down to the creek with Joey. So they go back in and they dance and they show them all. He walks her home and he gets a nice little pity kiss on the cheek.
Yes.
Have you ever gotten a pity kiss? I've gotten a few pity kisses.
Yes, I can think of one.
The main one I can think of is we were in middle school and
it was on the lips though.
Well, no, mine's a true pity kiss. We were huffing some like cleaner. Southern New Jersey guys, woo! And we realized at the last minute that like we were about to leave school for the day. We're huffing in school.
These are my friends.
Yeah, we'd left the canister behind, so I went back and like I got rid of the evidence. And this one girl who was huffing with us was so happy that she kissed me on the cheek. And out of those kids that were huffing, one of them died 3 years later from huffing, and the other one I last saw homeless on the streets of Philadelphia. So, I'm doing pretty good. My one and only huffing experience. And I got kissed out of it.
Okay.
I assume your story is very similar.
Yeah.
Well, we just buried a body and...
No, I was filming a movie in the Pittsburgh area.
Mm-hmm.
And an actress in the movie had to kiss like everyone else in the movie but me. And then at the end of the shoot gave me a kiss on the lips because I didn't get to kiss her. This was essentially what happened.
It's pretty kind.
I guess. It was also
What
like
is this movie that she
surprising.
had to kiss everybody?
Once again, I don't want to say names because...
I'm curious what is the plot of the movie that led to... Well, I guess this would identify them.
Well, I mean, there's only 3 people in the movie, so it's not like
okay.
it wasn't like...
So she was just kissing on the side as well?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Plus, it was at it was the after party, and I remember everybody was like, I remember leaving the bathroom and her being right there and hello, and I was like, hey.
Cast parties always result in a lot of kissing, so we pretty much skipped over the entire relationship with his family. He doesn't do much with Kathy. Kathy Bates is barely in this movie.
I know.
George C. Scott is in there more. He plays the grandpa Ivan, and he's very much the buck up, bucko.
I also love his screw him. Who cares what everybody thinks philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Superman isn't brave. Smart, handsome, even decent, but he's not brave. Superman is indestructible. And you can't be brave if you're indestructible. It's people like you and your mother. People who are different and can be crushed and know it. Yet they keep going on out there every time.
I love that Grandpa Ivan is marrying a much younger woman.
Yeah.
The junkie from The Crow. Again, just poor Angus's life. It's his grandfather's wedding day. He's there in his suit talking to his grandpa, like, "Oh, you're about to get married," and then like George C. Scott just dies mid-conversation.
Yeah.
I just want one moment with her. Just one. Just want my moment.
Doesn't
Angus
fall
is,
over
like,
either.
apologizing.
Uh-huh.
He would always wake his grandfather up by playing the record. And he goes to do it again, but his grandfather doesn't wake up. And it's very sad.
And he comes downstairs and he cries. Dude, the saddest shot of this entire movie for me. Hold on, let me finish my Liquid Death so I can do the shot like.
Not brought to you by Liquid Death either. So.
Advertising open. The saddest scene for me, because they keep showing him playing chess with his silent buddy in the park.
Who doesn't talk.
And then we see Angus, we see the old man waiting at the chessboard. It's cold and fall. And Angus walks in from the background, and they look at each other, and he takes the king piece and just tips it over. And the silent Russian man knows that this is code for, like, my friend of years is dead.
And then Angus cries. Is he Russian?
He seems Russian to me.
He doesn't talk at all. I don't
Old
know.
Russian men play chess.
Okay. He's going to Jefferson, which is a school he wants to get into, and he's got to do the science project, right?
Right.
So the interviewer shows up the day of the dance.
Yeah. And he does a whole, like, you know what, my real science experiment is going to be, I'm going to put on a purple suit and go to the prom. And the guy...
And I'm going to mutate.
Yes, I'm going to mutate. And the guy's like, this is very unorthodox, but I'll allow it.
He reminded me of... There's an old episode of Family Guy when Peter Griffin's like, I have to draw you.
Oh.
It's like eyes are real close together. That's what that guy reminds me of. He looks like...
He looks a lot like that. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I have to draw you.
Is this a joke, Mr. Bethune?
The scene where Rick steals Angus's underpants and hoists them up the flagpole.
Angus? What? I think I know what Rick did with your underwear.
And they keep getting bigger.
Yeah,
Like,
oh god,
that's awesome.
That's cool movie making. Especially when Chris is like, Sherminator is like, it's almost as big as the flag, and every time you look, they get like
bigger and bigger, and then they're like the size of the whole flagpole,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Do you
then
have...
they fly away and hit Melissa Lefevre in the face.
Yep.
That's what you call getting a...
Do you have any embarrassing high school moments you can think of?
In grade school, I guess Clueless had come out, right? And I did not know what Suck and Blow was.
Ooh,
Okay.
Suck and Blow. I only know that from Clueless.
That's me too. So, but they were playing this in the Clueless. I guess in Clueless they were playing it, which I have seen in the since. So, but at the time I did not see this movie, so I did not know how this game was played.
Play Suck and Blow.
Right, and then there was the girl Dana who I had a crush on, and it was her first, right? So she had the little piece of paper. Now the game, right? You put
Do we have a thing we can use here for? There's Post-its. Grab that Post-it that says 1999 for no reason.
Where?
Behind you, over there.
Oh, it says 1999 because this was on one of my tapes.
Oh.
But you put the right? We're not doing that.
No, we're doing it.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fine, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Okay.
No, but this is what I did. So you have to.
Okay.
You have it on your ear. Suck.
I'm sucking.
So I went. This. Okay, he's just pretend like.
Oh, 1999 MTV VMAs. That's a good year.
Yeah, that was what was on one of the tapes. I have
Chris Rock here, I
have a YouTube channel called Joe's Video Archives, which is way more popular than this channel, and I post all of those things on there. So
Rub it in, why don't you?
I'm just saying. So maybe, hey, this is we'll talk about some stuff. Anyway, he's sucking, right? So this is Dana. This is Dana from grade school, and here she's coming towards me, and I go. I suck and blow.
It makes sense.
I thought it meant.
It checks out.
So that's what happened.
Oh
Okay.
my god. God.
That was pretty embarrassing.
So I remember. That's so. I just imagine the fucking.
I just remember her hair going like, it looked like a fan hit her face. It could have been, I mean, in my head, that's what it looked like.
Right.
And the paper just.
That's so fucking funny. So.
Sorry, Dana.
First day of 6th grade, I had gotten this. I never really dressed stylishly, and I'd like made an effort. I got like this shiny shirt and had a zipper up here, and it was collared. And I remember I went into school, and it was like, "Hey, Jesse Dram, looking good today." Thanks. Thanks. You know. And I actually felt like cool for the first time ever. And then the second day, my mother had gotten me this shirt that the sleeves were like up here, and it was like cotton. It wasn't a t-shirt. It's a weird thing. And like the neckline went down a little. I said, "Mom, this kind of looks like a girl's shirt." She's like, "No, it's the style." The only place I've ever seen this shirt is Nathan Fillion is wearing it in Blast from the Past.
Okay.
So, like, maybe for a second it looked okay if you had, like, a boy band physique and were not a fat 12-year-old boy. All day long, it was, "Jesse's wearing a girl shirt." Dude, I just remember putting my head down at lunch and crying in my fucking girl shirt. And I went down to the nurse, and I called my mom. I said, "You have to bring me another shirt." And, yeah. It killed me. Yeah, movie was not a huge success. I feel like everybody I grew up with was aware of it. It was one of those movies that the trailer was on the VHS of every single movie you had.
Yeah, I remember renting it a million times.
Same.
Remember renting it a lot because I love Green Day. Green Day is one of my favorite bands, and like this had the one song that wasn't on any other albums until the Greatest Hits album came out.
This
so
is
you had to get this soundtrack, which I did not have.
Yeah,
so,
this was before you could get B-sides very easily.
Yeah, and you had to. Yeah, it really wasn't on any CDs, so at that time I couldn't get it. The only way you could really hear it, and the internet, Napster hadn't been out just was. So when Napster came out, I was like, JAR!
Oh, yeah.
Green Day!
Yep. So even though it wasn't a big hit, it was well reviewed. Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars, concluded Charlie Talbert is a good casting choice for Angus because he isn't a sort of fat kid like those models in the king size catalog who look about 12 pounds overweight. He's fat, but he's also smart, likable, resilient, and engaging. And he has the gift of deflecting his shortcomings with humor. So yeah, well-reviewed movie, forgotten pretty much. I couldn't find any, like, look-back analysis video like the one we're making right now. It's not on the internet. So,
There probably is somewhere. We just don't know.
I'm sure there is somewhere, but I'm very curious if this will pick up some traction just because it is such a specific movie. My wife's 4 years younger than me. She said she'd never heard of it, and I'm not really surprised by that. I would think you would probably have to be in, like, a narrow, like, 5 to 6 year window of when you were, like, really in, like, the prime demography for this movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Demographic.
Demography works as well.
I guess. Is that what you said? I couldn't tell what you said. So.
I was using, yes, it works. I don't have anything else for this.
I guess that's it. Check out Joe's Video Archives.
Joe's Video Archives.
Where I post old VHS things I find on VHS tapes. A lot of commercials, a lot of old made-for-TV movies, a lot of local news broadcasts, mostly from the Philly, New Jersey area.
Right. You have like recorded blocks too, from like where it's just one, like somebody pressed record and then walked away for several hours.
Oh yeah.
Is there a term for that?
I guess I don't know. There's I mean I have full like 6-hour rips of VHS tapes, and what I'll do though is I don't
the good old SLP setting.
I don't have it on I don't like upload all 6 hours unless it's something like the Home Shopping Network, and it's like, because there's a couple videos I have that are like 4 hours of the Home Shopping Network, and it's just like something like that. Then yeah, but like if it's cutting to different programs through the whole thing,
right?
A lot also deals with what can I post on YouTube. I'm not monetized on that channel because they'll take everything down. So I just plus I'm doing it not for money purposes. I'm literally doing it to try and preserve this stuff.
Doing it for the community.
Yeah, I mean so many people have been like, "Thank you so much for posting this. I've been looking for this. I haven't seen this since it aired."
Even like
depending on things that, so it's,
I don't see a lot of the old VMAs online, which is tricky because there's nowhere else to watch them.
Well,
there's a YouTuber I like, Hugo something, but he does like recaps of like old award shows and like all the old VMAs. It's really cool.
I have the 1999 one.
Nice.
Which was on one of the tapes.
I have, it's funny, I recorded them myself, episodes of Syphil and Ollie off of TV, but even when I pull up the YouTube ones now, they'll have the little bug in the corner of like, 4 days to the 1998 VMAs, like that was on my copy, shit.
Yeah, that's the other stuff that gets lost without like all those little bumpers, all those little interstitials, all those, like I found some old real Ghostbusters TV spots from before it came out that weren't online, like I don't know, stuff like that. At least not that I could find. They might be, but like I couldn't find them easily. It was like things like that. So that's what I've been doing, just digitizing old footage.
Cool. Well, guys, I think that's our episode. We're glad to be back with you. Leave a comment if you have another piece of Gen X 80s, 90s, 2000s nostalgia you would like us to talk about. KYGY2K. You can follow me at Instagram at Jesse Dram. I'm also a comedian, so you can find shit on there where you can come see me and see my clips. Joey, promote yourself.
I haven't done shit in a while, but we wrote and recorded a new Jackrabbit episode, so I'm going to be animating that soon.
Okay.
I work full-time now, so it's probably going to take me forever to do this 4-minute goddamn short, but I'm doing it, I promise.
Give your Instagram handle.
Joe Griffo.
There you go. Guys, see you next time. Good to be back.
Goodbye.
My nose is too stuffy to do that properly.
All right.
All right, see, that was nice.
Good.